Hello there. Welcome to the Embody Your Soul podcast. I am your host, Alexandra Shelly, also known as the Modern Medium. And the mission of this podcast is to introduce you and help you understand how you can connect to your divine self through spiritual connection and best practices. If you are new here, thank you so much for finding me. And if you are a regular listener, thank you so much for tuning in on the magic. I deeply appreciate it always. And if you are looking for deeper support, please head to my website at themodernmedium.com, where I have so many beautiful ways to work with you, whether it's in person, remote, totally remote via email, or mentorship. I'm also based and recording at beautiful Merkababe Designs in Laguna Beach. So I'm also able to see you here in person. And please follow me on Instagram and Threads at @themodernmedium_. I am super active. And please follow me on my substack, which is Alexandra Shelly's Musings. So many things. I have never done this for my podcast. That's because I don't really have a crazy cool. Actually, I have a really great setting, but I don't have a proper setting I don't have a proper camera and everything. And I've just honestly, you guys, I've just been like really lazy because editing videos is not my highest joy. But I have to be honest, after what I'm experiencing right now, like this is so much fun. Like I think I need to do this. So anyways, I am really excited about this topic. This is something I have expanded on Substack and Threads, but I also wanted to bring it onto the podcast because we are all different in the ways we like to learn. We are either auditory or we read or we like shorter form posts. And this is also a really important topic, I believe, when it comes to spiritual development, connecting with spirit, and also building confidence in your connection with spirit. So, sorry, I'm like all excited. So I'm like needing to remember to breathe. Also, this is the beautiful Isis necklace. If you are seeing this, is a beautiful handmade Isis necklace that Carly, the owner, literally hand makes, channels, everything, like unbelievably powerful. And this is an amazing moonstone necklace. So the energy is just delicious with me. And I'm in a new dress. So I'm feeling great. I also had to fend myself from a really icky, mean customer today. So we're just like channeling this energy into creation. All right. So anyways, the topic is why it's really overwhelming at first to connect with spirit, and when that experience happens, and how to connect with spirit in a way that is grounding, healing, and very supportive. So I will list three clear reasons why I believe and what I've come to learn why it could be really overwhelming to connect with spirit at first, and then 5 ways to really work through it. So I love giving you not only like reasons and explaining so you don't feel freaking alone, but I also love to give you the tools and how to work through it and again, experience this magic, but in a way where it's sustainable and practical and you also know what the frick to do. So number 1 is, to put it very simply, is it's simply new energy. Spirit energy, soul frequency energy feels new to us because we haven't connected with it yet or a lot. So it's just as simple as that. And new energy is activating. It could be exciting or it could be really triggering. Regardless, it's just new energy, simple as that. Number 2 is, these two get a little bit deeper. So the soul frequency, when we feel it and we've experienced it, whether maybe you have been to a session with me, or you have been to a session with a psychic medium, or you feel like this deep love and this deep presence of love, or you are literally holding a baby or you're holding a puppy, like just these beautiful energies are soul frequency. But they don't last very long if you don't have a lot of experience with soul frequency. When you don't have this prolonged experience holding soul frequency, it could be really overwhelming. One, again, because it's new energy and you're not used to it. Two, the deeper reason is because when our soul is here and it's very present and we are aware of it, our shadows come up. They're like, oh my God, you can see us. Thank you. We're here. Look at me. Talk to me. But then when our shadows come up, we're like, yucky, icky, gross. Get out of here. I was just feeling so good. What are you doing? You're crashing the party. So then we don't want to be in that soul frequency because we haven't dealt with all of our shadows yet. So it's quite a funny thing because soul frequency is delicious. It is supportive. And the word that really comes through is warm. Like soul frequency is true warmth. It's delicious. But sitting in soul frequency, the shadows come up, and that's the alchemy that happens. Like when we're in that soul frequency, the shadows come up, we acknowledge it, and then we work through it. And it's just like a beautiful journey. And then we just get used to it. And then we're able to hold the soul frequency. We're able to hold the paradox of both the shadow and the light. Whole thing. That's like a whole other podcast. The third reason, which was actually coming through to me when I was trying to really flesh out this topic, is we don't let ourselves feel good all the time and often. It's almost like we're going through this like pandemic of not feeling joy. And that's honestly, gosh, we could go on to a whole other I feel like I say that all the time. We can go on to a whole other podcast about that. But the soul frequency feels really good. And let's say we feel that joy, but then we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or we get anxious, or we're like, no, like we like subconsciously feel like we can't feel that, whether it's at all or for long periods of time. And that's the beautiful thing, is when you become more and more connected to soul frequency and spirit, you realize, of course, not every day is going to be freaking perfect, but you are more connected to soul frequency for more prolonged experiences. And you begin to learn how to prolong that soul experience. And then you just always feel connected, regardless if you're having a tough day. And you have this wisdom that the soul never leaves, because we are the soul. We are soul frequency. So anyways, those are the 3 reasons why connecting to spirit can feel really overwhelming. And I wanted to talk about this in length because I am someone that has anxiety, I'm ADHD, I'm OCD, and I also deal with depression. So I am neurospicy. Honestly, most practitioners are neurospicy. Like it just is what it is. But it soothed me when I began to understand this for myself. And I wanted to make this episode and put out all this information so those who are experiencing this, they don't feel alone. Like I'm not neurolinear. What's the word? I'm neurodivergent. I'm very neurospicy. And then the other 5 ways, what's honestly so important with connecting with spirit is it could easily go haywire. Is that the right word? It could easily deter into a territory that is not very grounding, very unnourishing. Is that even a word? And as I've obviously worked with spirit throughout the years, I have really learned the best way to integrate this wisdom into the body, into my everyday life. So I always feel connected to spirit, and it's not an overwhelming experience. Or when I do have one, I know what to do. So the first thing to do is simply continue to reinforce and acknowledge safety to your human self. Literally by saying, let's say you're connecting with spirit, you say, I am safe We are safe. Spirit is safe. Soul is safe. And whatever comes through intuitively, like we are safe, our friends are safe, my higher self is safe. Continuing to reinforce safety, literally talking to your human self like you're a kid. And that's not a bad thing. We often think if we have to talk to ourselves like a kid, that it's immature. Well, actually, two things. Number one, talking to ourselves like a kid is actually genuinely connecting to the true innocence within us. And that's beautiful. We want to maintain and connect to that innocence always. But number two, like it's just a sense of your human is maturing. Your soul is mature. Your soul is all knowing, but it's also innocent at the same time. And the thing with the human is maturing over time. And so with every single day, the human is maturing. And so if you talk to yourself gently, it's not necessarily immature, but you're helping your human grow. You're part of the growth process very actively and very on board and aware. Also, a beautiful piece of advice that I loved from the amazing Tony Stockwell. He is the king of kings, a very world. Oh my God. Sorry. You guys, if you are watching this, my nose is so itchy. I feel like I'm going to yawn. I'm yawning. So if you have listened to a lot of my podcast episodes, my itchy nose is something that happens when spirit is really happy. I feel really connected and I'm channeling. So that's a thing. Also, the yawning part was something I learned in the very, very beginning from my mentor, Melissa Wallace. Yawning is actually relaxing my body and relaxing literally my brain and my nervous system deeper into spirit. I guess that's like another fun lesson. Like your body will have reactions like that as a way to just attune to the energy of spirit. So again, Tony Stockwell, something he said when in class is he would say, come back to your breath and say, welcome friends, come closer friends. And almost say, I'm excited to welcome you in friends. I'm excited to see you friends. And not only reminding yourself to come back to the breath, major, but also acknowledging our guides as friends. Because there's a couple things. Number one, if your spirit guides feel super new to you, either still or again, like you're literally just starting, it could feel intimidating. You're like, what? There's a master being? They're our friend. They're literally our friends, you guys. They know us through and through. They're non-judgmental. They're deeply supportive. They are our ride or dies, you guys. Our spirit guides don't have the human limitations. Wow, sorry. I see someone in the craziest getup across the street. I love my life. And I just lost track. So anyways, our spirit guides are our friends. They are here for us. They don't have the limitations like us humans do because of our lovely, amazing ego. Also, when we acknowledge our guides as friends, it makes it a little less intimidating. A tip I give to students and to clients is if you are nervous to talk to a spirit guide, literally envision or feel into like if you were talking to your best friend. And that energy, you feel open, you feel honest, you feel like you can be yourself, you feel like you can relax and you don't have to perform. That's essentially what it should be like with your spirit guides. And that's what it is. Like they're not performing for you. You shouldn't perform for them. And they should never make you feel that way. If they do, that's not a spirit guide. That's some weird practitioner doing some weird shit, to be quite honest with you. So anyways, acknowledging your human, saying affirmations that you are safe, acknowledging your guides as friends. So really wrapping that up and reinforcing safety. Number 2 is, one moment. I need to look back at my threads post. Okay, so number 2 is titrate. Give yourself these experiences in bite sizes. And the term titration and the practice is actually something I learned in my integrative trauma practitioner training. And it's super brilliant. So titrating is a method and a way for you to allow activation to rise in the body so to arise in the body, so we have material to work with, but titration is just small enough so we don't go into overwhelm, because if we are in overwhelm, then we are not in a effective place of learning and growing and integrating. If we're in overwhelm, our nervous system is shutting down. We're going into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and we are in the amygdala part of our brain. We're not ready and open for cognitive flexibility. So titration is actually very effective and very good. If you are someone that deals with a lot of anxiety, or you have dealt with like trauma and you're dealing with it and connecting to spirit is really overwhelming, titrate these experiences. But also, even in the grand scheme of things, if you aren't really actively doing trauma work, it's also just best, like it's the best way to learn something. You do it in bite sizes. Whenever we take too big of a chunk, we feel like we overcommit and then we lose momentum. So titrating and giving ourselves these small experiences, it just builds confidence, and like gradual growth is always better. Like gradual growth and gradually building up to soul frequency is good. It's really helpful. And actually an amazing episode, I believe it's episode 69 with Rory Walcombe, one of my favorite episodes, and also an amazing practitioner. We talked about in that episode how it's so important to open yourself up gently and with ease when it comes to spirit, because spirit is really subtle. So if you want to listen to that episode and listen to about our clairs and the subtle frequencies and experiences of spirit, please go check it out. But titrating is perfect because you are gently opening up to spirit little by little. It's better for your nervous system and it's better for your confidence. Number 3, stay consistent. That's probably one of my main pieces of advice I always give to my students, my clients, everyone, is just stay consistent. I truly don't have a preference. Morning, night, afternoon, middle of the night, who really gives a shit? Just show up to spirit. Show up for your devoted practice every single day. And that devotion speaks and vibrates on all planes. And your guides, you're going to, not only is your devotion and your commitment like you are gradually opening up to spirit every day consistently, but also like your guides are going to be excited to show up for you. Like your guide, like you're going to feel them faster. Not only, it's really a two-way street. Not only because your guides are like, all right, yeah, I hear the call. She's here. She's devoted. I got it. And when you're inconsistent, it's not that they are inconsistent, but they are so on your side in terms of they are never going to cross your boundaries. Like benevolent beings and guides, they are only going to do and give you what you can handle. So when you set a boundary, they're going to follow it really for the most part. And I think about like my grandma, she was a little cheeky, but it's not like it was scary. It's never scary or bad. But again, like I'm going on a tangent, but you show up consistently, your guides it's going to feel more consistent and just easier with your guides and just quicker. Number 4, this is like really huge, is integrate. 2 things. Number 1, bring this wisdom into your body, boots on the ground. Bring the wisdom of spirit into your everyday. Spirit isn't just supposed to be for the meditation pillow and for your crystal pile. Spirit is for when you are driving, when you're finding a parking spot, when you're talking to the cashier, or you're talking to your loved one, or you're making a decision at the grocery store. Like spirit is supposed to be a part of our everyday. And oftentimes, like we've seen it, there's like those spiritual douchebags and we're just like, it's not fun. And that's because they haven't truly integrated the wisdom of spirit, because guess what? Like I said earlier, the soul brings up shadow that we have to address and integrate. And what happens is they instead put cement all over it and push it down, and they create a whole other persona that is spiritual and enlightened and doesn't have those issues. But then it just is even more pronounced because it's pretty much just like leaking. Like what's coming through was like leaky energy because it's literally bursting. Like it's shadow that it's desperate to come out. So anyways, like integration is so huge because it really forces you to address, okay, like this is a shadow that's coming up, like I'm ready to work with it. And honestly, you guys, like it's so funny. Okay, so 2 things that come through. I have an amazing episode with Sam Gibbs Morris. It's absolutely incredible. Definitely go listen to it. And he really talks about how fear is like paper tigers. Like we make our shadows out to be something so scary, but they're really just paper tigers. Like it's really not that big of a deal. They've only gotten scarier because we push them to the corner, the dark corners of our psyche. And then it's even scarier because it's dark back there and it's been there for a really long time. But then honestly, the analogy that came through earlier was like, oh my God. Okay. So perfect. It's literally today's about integration because I was recording this and then I have a sign on the door that says I'm on lunch break, and this guy came in and I was like, hey, I'm working on something. He was like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no, I'm working on something. I'm on my lunch break. And I was just like, oh, fucking shit. Like, come on. Like, I was on such a roll, but I don't think it was a bad thing to say it. It was just genuinely. Anyways, here I am. Okay. So another analogy that came through is our shadows are honestly like rotten food. Like, honestly, the more we let the food rot, the scarier it gets. But then if we think about it, all we do, guess what we do with rotten food? We throw it away. We throw it away. We toss it. It's not that big. Actually, I don't even know if that's my favorite analogy for it because we don't really throw our shadows away. We really integrate them. But I guess what I really mean to say is we make our shadows out to be so terrible, and they're so terrible because of society, because of programming, because of so much that has told us that our shadows are awful, and they're really not. They're parts of ourselves that are seeking to be loved, and there's deep magic and medicine in our shadows. So anyways, it's unfortunate when those who do not wish to address their shadows, it becomes even more intense. So it's really important to make sure that as those shadows come up, you allow it to be seen by the soul, because guess what? The soul is going to take care of it. Spirit has got you. You have access to all of this divine wisdom. And especially with connecting to spirit, you are so deeply supported. You are not alone when it comes to integrating. So you freaking got this. Also, spirit should be a part of our everyday life. Spirit should be a part of our everyday fabric of existence. And a beautiful, I don't remember if I just said it, but like a beautiful phrase that I heard a long time ago from a practitioner was boots on the ground. Like, how are you applying spirit to your earthly life? Like, spirit is not separate from our flesh and from the door. Spirit is in everything. Spirit is with everything. So when we don't acknowledge that, it's very disjointed. And then the 5th one, which, I'm just positioning my notes, is actively practicing self-compassion. Sorry, I'm just also stopping again. If you are looking at me on the video, just so you know what's going on, baby. Okay, so actively practicing self-compassion. I actually had a whole episode on this, and I realized it really was the missing piece when it came to becoming more confident in your intuition. I got this information from a beautiful book called Rewire Your Mind by Dr. Shauna Shapiro. And she literally is a neuroscientist at Stanford and has done tons of beautiful studies. And in this study, it shows that when you actively practice self-compassion, not only so your body opens up, your heart opens up, you open yourself up to resources in the brain. You are then allowing yourself to be flooded by beautiful hormones, one of them being the love hormone oxytocin, but also then you are allowing yourself to be open to I think it's called cognitive flexibility. So you are in a space to learn and to grow, and you're curious. So when you practice self-compassion while you're building your relationship and your confidence with spirit, it's so helpful because you're also relying literally on the biology, on your body to help you. It's amazing. And then the opposite is when you practice shame, your body shuts down, you shut yourself off to resources in the brain. You are no longer in a place to access cognitive flexibility, and shame doesn't work. It's not meant to work. I will also put that episode in the show notes. I think it's 89, but I also could be wrong because I don't want to go back and do all this editing and whatever. We're just here, you guys. So anyways, I really hope that was all helpful. I know when I'm so passionate about something and I need to talk about it, I just have to do it. And I'm clearly so excited about this one because I had to share it on multiple platforms because I think it's really important for everyone to have access to this information. And I just hope this brought you lots of peace and clarity and support and love. And if you are looking for deeper support, please connect with me. Please book a session or service with me. Go to my website at themodernmedium.com. I can do in person. I have remote. I also have email, which is very accessible, very remote, where we don't have to be on camera or a scheduled time. You simply purchase your service and we get going. And then I also have mentorships, which are so beautiful. They're such profound programs, and it's literally all I've learned, everything I've learned, and it will continue to be that way as long as I do this practice. 6 years of my knowledge into a couple months, and it's amazing. Education and deep support. You have a lot of access to me, and it's so much fun. But anyways, I love you guys so much. I also have a substack on this, so please give that a read or share it with someone if they are not an auditory person. They do not like podcasts. They'd rather read it. Follow me on Instagram at @themodernmedium_, also on Threads. Follow this podcast. Give it wherever you love a listen. I said that right? But yeah, I love you guys so much. You all mean the world to me, and I will see you next time.